That $89 fare is a lie. By the time you hit checkout, you've already paid for a seat, a bag, and the privilege of boarding with your own carry-on. Most travelers pay double the advertised price without realizing it until it's too late. Airlines collected over $148 billion in fees in 2024 alone. Not from tickets. From you not knowing the rules. In this video, I'm breaking down 15 airline fees that are quietly draining your travel budget and exactly how to dodge every single one. Fee 1. First checked bag. Here's the fee that kicked off this whole mess. The first checked bag. What used to be standard is now the bread and butter of airline profits. For major carriers like Delta, United, and American, you can expect to pay around $35 for your first bag on a domestic flight. Budget carriers like Spirit and Frontier are even more aggressive, charging upwards of $50 if you don't pay well in advance. Let's do the math for a family of 4. Each person checks one bag. On a round-trip flight with a major airline, that's an extra $280, $35 per bag, per person, each way. Flying a budget airline, that could easily hit $400. Suddenly, that affordable family vacation has a $400 baggage tax you never planned for. A notable shift occurred when some airlines ended free checked bags. Standard fees are common, about $35 for the first bag and $45 for the second. Free checked bags are now rare across the industry. So, how do you fight back? The best weapon is an airline co-branded credit card. The Delta SkyMiles Amex, the United Explorer card, and the American Airlines A Advantage cards almost all waive the first checked bag fee for you and up to 8 other people on your reservation. The annual fees are usually around $100. If our family of 4 takes just one round-trip flight, they save $280 on baggage, covering the card's fee nearly 3 times over. If you fly even twice a year, getting one of these cards is a financial no-brainer. Fee 2. Second bag surcharge. This is where it gets really expensive. The second bag surcharge. Airlines don't just charge you again. They hit you harder. While the first bag might be $35, the second one on major carriers is typically $45. On budget carriers like Spirit and Frontier, that second bag can cost a staggering $60. This fee is especially tough for families or anyone on a longer trip. Imagine you're a family of 4 and need 2 bags for a week-long vacation. On a major airline, that's $35 for the first bag and $45 for the second, per person, each way. That comes out to $80 per person for the round trip, totaling an eye-watering $320 for the family. That's literally the cost of another plane ticket. This is a classic case of airlines profiting from necessity. They know longer trips need more stuff. And once you've committed to checking one bag, it's easier to get you to pay for a second. That $45 fee is almost pure profit. The solution is twofold. First, be strategic. Investing in packing cubes and learning to roll your clothes can often get you down to 1 suitcase. But if 2 bags are a must, the answer is airline credit cards. Many of the same cards that waive the first checked bag fee also waive the second. Fee 3. Carry-on restriction and basic economy trap. This is one of the sneakiest fees out there, perfected by the ultra-low-cost carriers. You spot a flight on Spirit for $49 and think you've struck gold. You book it, then show up at the airport only to find out your standard carry-on suitcase isn't included. That'll be another $65, please. Welcome to the basic economy trap. To compete on price, major airlines introduced these no-frills fares, and a key feature is the carry-on restriction. With most basic economy tickets, you only get one small personal item that has to fit under the seat in front of you. Anything bigger, like a roller bag, will cost you. Suddenly, your $49 flight is over $100, and probably more expensive than the regular economy ticket you skipped. This isn't a mistake, it's their business model. Airlines know that search engines reward them for showing the lowest possible base fare. The real cost is revealed late in the booking process after you're already mentally committed. The only way to win is to change your mindset. Stop comparing base fares. Before you book any flight, calculate the total cost. Go through the booking process until you see the final price with your bags and a seat. You'll often find a standard economy ticket on a major airline is actually cheaper than a deal on a budget carrier. And this is exactly why I created the Carry-On Rules ebook guide. So many travelers get hit with surprise fees because they assume their bag qualifies when it doesn't. This guide breaks down carry-on rules, personal item limits, and what you can actually pack before your flight. Check it out below. Fee 4. Personal item reclassification. This is a trap most people don't see coming. The personal item reclassification. Airlines increasingly enforce strict personal item definitions. What used to fly for free might now get you hit with a surprise fee at the gate. Airlines are getting incredibly strict about personal item dimensions. Small backpacks or larger totes that used to get a pass are now being eyed by gate agents. Why? There have been reports and admissions that some budget airline gate agents can earn a commission for every oversized bag they catch. This creates a direct financial incentive to be as strict as possible. The enforcement is also getting more technical. Some airports are testing systems that photograph your carry-on as you board, and if it looks too big, it can be automatically flagged for an agent's review. The loss isn't just the fee, which is always higher at the gate. It's the stress of being pulled aside and forced to pay up in front of a line of impatient passengers. How do you avoid this? Be diligent. Before you leave home, go to the airline's website and find the exact dimensions they allow for a personal item. They're all slightly different. Then, take out a measuring tape and actually measure your bag. Opt for soft, compressible bags. They're less likely to draw attention. Fee 5. Seat Selection Fee. Here's the fee that frustrates travelers the most. Paying to choose your own seat. You bought a ticket, which guarantees you a spot on the plane. But if you want any say in where that spot is, you're going to have to pay. Airlines are now even charging for seat selection during the 2-4-hour online check-in window, which used to be your last shot at a decent free seat. On average, a standard economy seat selection now costs around $33 per flight. Want an exit row? That's closer to $48. Flying internationally? A premium seat can run as high as $160. For a family of 4 to sit together, it can add over $260 to the trip. Between 2018 and 2023, 5 major U.S. airlines raked in a staggering $12.4 billion from seat selection fees alone. Some carriers have changed seat policies. Several moved from open seating to assigned seats. That shift boosts revenue largely from paid seat selection. So what can you do? You can play chicken with the airline and win. Just skip the seat selection process. The airline is legally required to give you a seat. It might be a middle seat in the back, but it will be a seat. If you're with family, airline systems usually try to seat you together. And by this point, most travelers have already paid more in fees than their original ticket. And we're only halfway through. Fee 6. Exit row and extra legroom premium. This is where airlines make the most profit. The exit row and extra legroom premium. The economy cabin now has multiple tiers, and one of the most profitable is the extra legroom category. The fee for these seats can be steep. An exit row on a domestic flight can set you back an extra $48. On a long-haul international flight, a so-called premium economy seat can cost up to $160 or even more, like United's $319 charge on some routes. For a tall person, this feels less like a luxury and more like a ransom to avoid hours of misery. Here's where you have to do a quick cost-benefit analysis. On a short 1-hour flight, paying almost $50 for an exit row is probably a waste. But on a flight across the ocean, that $160 might be the difference between arriving rested and arriving in pain. Here's how to play it smart. First, if legroom is a must for a long flight, it can be cheaper to book a true premium economy fare from the start. Second, if you have elite status with an airline, you can often select these premium seats for free. Fee 7. Priority boarding. Here's a fee that profits from a problem the airlines created: priority boarding. This fee plays on one specific fear: running out of overhead bin space. Airlines charge around $35 per person to board early, with a simple pitch: get on first to guarantee a spot for your carry-on. For a family of 4, paying for priority boarding on a round-trip flight could add another $280 to their costs. And here's the kicker. You're paying a premium to sit on a cramped plane for longer. The very existence of this fee is a direct result of other fees. Since everyone is trying to avoid checked bag fees, more people are bringing carry-on bags. This creates a shortage of bin space, a problem the airlines created themselves. Now, they're happily selling you the solution. There are a few ways to avoid this fee. The easiest is to pack light enough that your only bag fits under the seat. No overhead bag, no boarding anxiety. The second is to get in line for your group as soon as it's called. And finally, airline credit cards and elite status are your best weapons, as most come with priority boarding. Fee 8. Overweight and oversized bag fee. This is one of the most painful fees because it's an ambush: the overweight and oversized bag. You get to the airport, put your bag on the scale, and it's overweight. The fee for a bag between 51 and 70 pounds is typically a flat $100. If it's over 70 pounds, that can jump to $200. This fee is so effective because you have zero leverage at the airport. Your only options are to pay the crazy fee or frantically repack on the terminal floor. Airlines know this. The weight limits, usually 50 pounds for a standard bag, are arbitrary but ruthlessly enforced. That one extra pound, from 50 to 51, can cost you $100. The solution is incredibly simple and costs about $15. Buy a digital luggage scale. Weigh your bags at home. If you're over the limit, you have time to move things around. Also, check the airline's website for their size limits before oversized fees kick in. Fee 9. Baggage surge pricing. This is where airline fees get even more complicated. The baggage surge pricing scheme. Some airlines use surge-style pricing, raising bag fees during peaks. The airline now charges more for checked bags during peak travel times. During off-peak times, your first bag might be $35, but if you're flying during a holiday, that same bag is $40. The second bag jumps from $50 to $60. But the real penalty is for waiting. If you wait until the airport during a peak time, that first bag is a whopping $50. A second bag will set you back a massive $70. A traveler checking 2 bags at the airport during a holiday could pay an extra $45 for the exact same service. This is a clear attempt to train passenger behavior. Airlines want you to pay for everything online, well in advance. It locks in your money early and reduces their costs at the airport. The way to avoid this is simple. Always prepay for your baggage online when you book your flight. There is no reason to wait until you get to the airport anymore. Fee 10. Ticket change fee. Here's where a simple change can cost you everything, the crippling ticket change fee. Life happens, and airlines are waiting to profit from it. Ticket change fees can range from $25 per segment on an airline like Allegiant to $400 for international flights on major carriers. Even a simple same-day change can cost you $50 or more. These fees are a huge source of stress. The fear of paying a $400 change fee often forces people to take trips they don't want to or lose the entire value of their ticket. The key is to understand the fare rules before you buy. Many airlines now offer more flexible fares that include free changes. If there's a small chance your plans might shift, paying a bit more upfront can save you hundreds. Some budget airlines also sell their own protection plans, like Allegiant's Trip Flex, which for a fee lets you change your flight once without the standard penalty. Finally, premium travel credit cards can be a safety net. Some come with travel insurance that can cover you for changes or cancellations. And again, elite status with an airline often comes with waived change fees. Fee 11. Cancellation Penalty. This trap is even worse than the change fee, the cancellation penalty. If you need to cancel, you could lose a huge chunk of your ticket's value. Basic economy fares on most airlines are totally non-refundable, and you'll be charged a steep fee, with any remaining value given as a credit, not cash. The fees are all over the place. On JetBlue, canceling a Blue Basic fare costs $100 for a domestic flight and $200 for an international one. On Allegiant, it's $25 per person, per segment, but only if you cancel at least 7 days out. Any later and you lose everything. This is where the fine print will get you. Canceling a $150 ticket could get you anywhere from zero to a full refund, depending entirely on the fare you bought. Airlines intentionally design these restrictive options, knowing a certain percentage of people will have to cancel and forfeit their money. To protect yourself, you can buy a fully refundable fare. They are much more expensive, but they offer total peace of mind. For everyone else, the best defense is travel insurance. You can buy a policy from a third-party provider or use the insurance that comes with many premium credit cards. These policies can reimburse you for your ticket if you have to cancel for a covered reason, like a medical emergency. Fee 12. Onboard service inflation. The final fee isn't one big charge, but death by 1,000 cuts. Onboard service inflation. It's the slow disappearance of free stuff on board. Things that used to be standard are now for sale: blankets, pillows, snacks, and on some carriers, even water. On a budget airline like Frontier or Spirit, absolutely everything has a price tag. But even the major airlines are cutting back. You might get a free soda and some pretzels, but bigger snacks and alcoholic drinks all cost extra. On a 3-hour flight, a $5 drink, an $8 snack, and a $5 pillow can add another $18 to your trip. It might not sound like much, but for a family of 4, these small purchases add up fast. Airlines do this because they have you trapped in a metal tube for hours. If you're hungry or thirsty, what choice do you have but to pay their prices? The solution is simple. Bring your own. Pack your own snacks. Buy a drink in the terminal after security and bring it on the plane. Invest in a good travel pillow you can use on every flight. Closing from the moment you search for a flight, the airline industry is designed to lure you in with a low price and then systematically tack on fees until you're paying double what you expected. They've mastered the psychology of pricing, knowing that once you start the booking process, you're more likely to accept every new charge. They created the problem of limited overhead bin space and then sold you the solution with priority boarding. They made sitting with your family a game of chance, then charged you a premium for certainty. But knowledge is power. By understanding these 12 fees, you can start to see the game for what it is. You can anticipate the traps and compare the total cost of travel, not the fantasy base fare. You no longer have to be a victim of this system. Now, you have the knowledge to beat the airlines at their own game. If this video saves you even $50 on your next flight, it's already worth it. So make sure you subscribe for more breakdowns like this, so you don't keep losing money every time you travel.